Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Come on. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulties there. Come on in the room. Testing 1, 2. Come on in the room. Come on. Good evening, everybody. Come on in the room. Good evening. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast Show. Come on in the room. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Come on in the room. Good evening, everybody. Come on in the room. Good afternoon, good evening. Trying to wait till we get some more people in the room. We have about 10 people in the room so far. Come on in. Everybody, if you have any questions for us, you can put them in the chat, or you can call us at 954-480-3209. That is the number to get in on the dialogue. Don't call right now. We'll let you know when to call into the show. Good evening. Waiting on some more people to come in the room. Where's everybody? Good evening, Janet. Welcome to the show. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We have 11 people watching so far. We'll give you a couple of more minutes. In the meantime, just bob your head to the vibes of DJ J Rock, our cousin from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Thank you for supplying us with these awesome beats. Thank you, cousin. Well, people in the room so far, good evening. Welcome to the show. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We were broadcasting live here a little while ago, and we had a little bit of technical difficulties that we're going to have to straighten out when we get off. But we are back live right now, and we are here to update everyone on the release of serial killer Gary Ulysses Troutman. So as everybody knows that he is a free killer right now, and he's out on the streets somewhere here in America, free with no restrictions. That means he could move around wherever he wants. He could be in Fort Lauderdale. He could be in Lauderhill. He could be in Miami. He could be in Pompano. He could be in Deerfield. He could be in Fort Pierce. But some of our reliable sources tells us that he has been spotted in East Point, Georgia. So to the people up in East Point and the Atlanta, Georgia, that surrounding area, I'm not sure what all of the cities are. College Park, Decatur. Not too familiar with the cities that's on the outside of Atlanta. But you all be careful. Because, again, our reliable sources has told us that he has been spotted in the East Point, Georgia area. And everybody's been asking, how the hell is this possible? How could you go out and murder 4 people? Take 4 lives. You killed 2 pregnant women, young black women, and their unborn child, which is 4 lives. 4 lives that he took. And you go to prison on 2 different occasions. On those 2 different occasions, he has done a total of 24 years for murdering 4 people. So, again, I know everybody is upset and mad that, he's out on the streets right now. And there are so many questions to be answered. Good afternoon, Elgin and Vanessa. There's so many questions that people wanted to ask. I mean, how could he be released so early? And, how could he kill 2 pregnant women and not get the death sentence or be on Florida's death row right now? And we didn't have an answer to that when we last broadcasted about a week ago. But since then, we were notified by the Broward County State Attorney's Office, and we were summoned down to meet with the prosecutors. And this was on Monday. And we met with the prosecutors. We met with the main guy down there. His name is Mr. Harold Pryor. He's the Broward County State Attorney. He's the first Black state attorney here in Broward County's history. We met with him, and congratulations to you too, sir. We met with him, and we met with his staff. It was about 5 people from his office.
Yeah, 5.
And we met with him, and we asked the same questions that you all have been asking. How could you kill 2 pregnant women and get all of this game time? They explained to us that he was sentenced under the old guidelines from back in 1986, where you only did 20% up to a maximum of 40% of your time. So that means if he was sentenced to 24 years, 25 years for Cassandra Scott's murder, he only did a maximum of 40%. So that's how he was released. And that has nothing to do with the Broward County State Attorney's Office. That has all to do with the Florida Department of Corrections.
At that time,
they determined game time. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Broward County State Attorney's Office. And he was released from prison. The first murder, he did maybe 40%.
Not even 40.
Not even 40.
It was 34%.
34%.
For Cassandra Scott.
For Cassandra Scott's. And he was released. And he moved around Broward County and back and forth between Broward County and Atlanta, Fulton County. And our sister's case was, again, unsolved for 21 years. I misspoke last week. I thought it was 27, but it was 21 years. It was a cold case. And when he went to prison for Cassandra Scott, like we said, they took his DNA, and from pressure from the family and our friends and people just calling, the Broward County Sheriff's Office reopened the case. It was a cold case. And when they reopened the cold case, they ran his DNA, 99.999% match that it was him who committed that murder. You know, when most people see DNA, they say, hey, DNA, how could you beat DNA? And we asked the state attorney these same questions. You know, how could he not get the death sentence over and you have DNA? And they explained to us in pretty much detail how that came about. So I'll let Wayne explain some of that to you.
Yeah, it was a prior court case. I don't have it right here with me. Actually, they gave us the court case citing where even though you have DNA evidence, Troutman never confessed. In Cassandra Scott's case, he confessed. In my sister's case, he denied. And he denied even knowing her, which of course, and it was explained to us by Harold Pryor and his staff, Regina Faulkner, I believe, that even though you have DNA, that you know how some people can just say that they were there, or it's a lot of legalities to it, but it was explained to us, and my family, we were very satisfied with what they told us. A lot of people don't know. Troutman was still being investigated when he was in prison. I'm trying to choose my words carefully, what I'm gonna say. But for the last 2 years, I got a call about 2.5 years ago from some detectives, and they informed me that they were looking at the case. They were looking at bringing other charges against Troutman way before he was even scheduled, or we even knew he was getting out. So it's been behind the scenes going on for a time now. Believe me, they've been trying to keep him locked up. It's not like they wasn't trying. They were trying the last 2 years to keep him in there. And they went to the feds. They tried everything possible to try to keep Troutman locked up. And a lot of things we couldn't say. Because it was still going on when we spoke last week. But like my brother Daryl said, we met with them, the prosecutors and the investigator, and everything they told us, they turned everything in and out trying to get Troutman.
They left no stone unturned.
They wanted him just as bad as anyone can ever think. But everything would have came back on double jeopardy. And most of us know what double jeopardy means. You can't try a person twice after they were acquitted, So, Gary is just a lucky person. He was able to escape justice twice. And it wasn't that, I think in the first case with Cassandra Scott, they all dropped the ball. The ball was definitely dropped in that case, and we all know, and we all know how that turned out. And Cassandra, as I said last week, never got I don't think her case should have been profiled. But even when we were approached by the TV shows, they didn't want to put Cassandra Scott in there at first. Actually, they didn't even know that we knew Cassandra's family like that. But once we told them the story that we used to live behind each other and how close we were, they were like, oh, we have to, you can't tell one story without the other. And that's what we were trying to say all the time. Once Cassandra Scott case, Angela Savage case cannot be told without Cassandra Scott's case. And it's important that we all remember Cassandra Scott just as well as my sister's case. It's just, by the time Troutman came along, the resources were better, the news was better. Now we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, we have all of that. When they caught Troutman back in 1994, we didn't have anything. Most of us was just getting introduced to the internet, and DNA was in its infancy. So it was just a lot of things at that time that didn't, go for her case to get a lot of publicity at that time. But as Daryl said, we had a good meeting at the state attorney's office on Monday, and we were very satisfied with what we were told by them. And they even informed us that they're still looking at other things. They're still looking at other people. And, but pretty much as far as the case, it's pretty much as far as my sister case, is pretty much shut. I don't think anything else can really be done. And, we were advocates for my sister, and I'm proud of what we did for the last 7-8 years and even more. I'm proud. My sister didn't go unnoticed like a lot of Black deaths are. Some people get killed and people don't even advocate for them in their family. They just bury them and go on by their business. And no, not here. If you kill someone in my family, you best believe I'm going to chase you down. I don't care if I'm 80 years old. I'm gonna chase you down to the end and try to make sure you get justice. You're gonna have to just come and kill me if that's the case, because I refuse to let someone kill someone in my family. And you think you're gonna just walk the streets free? That's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen with me. And I hope other families would take that same attitude. We have too many unsolved cases here in Deerfield Beach and Broward County and the state of Florida and all across this country. And I just would hope people would take a more proactive approach towards let's trying to get these cases solved. Daryl, you can go on ahead, and quite sure you got a lot more to say.
Well, like you just said, we met with the state attorney's office and they didn't make us any promises. They said we are going to look in every nook and cranny, and we're going to turn over every stone. And if there is anything whatsoever that we could charge him with, we're going to do it. And when you're sitting there at the table with those attorneys, prosecutors, I should say, well, they are attorneys. When you're sitting there at the table, AJ Bump, Celestine, Georgia Peach, and Vanessa, when you're sitting there at the table with those prosecutors and when they were speaking, I looked them right in their eyes. Not only did I, my brother and my parents were sitting there too. And you could see the frustration on their faces that they couldn't do anything because of statute of limitations had run out, and they were very, very frustrated that they couldn't just do anything, more to hold him accountable. So, I mean, and our family, we thank them. We thank them, from the bottom of our hearts. You all said you would look into it, and they did. They had like 5 or 6 people from their office working actively around the clock. Yep. Looking at everything, making calls to the state, to the feds, everything, and he has to be the luckiest serial killer ever alive. Because if that had happened today, I can tell you he would be on Florida's death row right now, waiting to be executed. And, it is what it is. We gave it our best shot. We fought like hell for our sister because she's no longer here.
And Cassandra Scott, even though her case had been resolved, we fought like hell for her. And
Cassandra. And we talked to her family members, her sisters and her brother. We are all very close. And, everybody is still wondering how the hell could this guy, set up, stalk, and murder 2 young pregnant women and do a total of 24 years and be set free by, laws that were on the book back in 1986. And he had to be sentenced under those guidelines, which was back in 1986. So, again, we gave it our best shot. And, we did what we had to do. And we even placed calls up to the Department of Corrections. And, they really don't want to tell you much other than, what was on the books at the time. They were bound by those laws. So he's free.
No restrictions.
No restrictions.
None at all.
He isn't on probation.
No, we don't have a number to the Department of Corrections. No. And yes, we have alerted law enforcement in Georgia. Georgia is very aware of everything. The state attorneys advised us. They are in constant contact with East Point Police.
So they're very aware that he could possibly be in the area. Now, who's to say he could just pack up and say, I want to go to Texas. I want to go to California. I want to go to New York. He could go wherever he wants. But I can tell you, don't ever let us find out where you live, because we will put your face all over the internet. The internet is powerful. I can tell you, when we put that story up, when he was released, we were in church. When we found out that he was released like 3 days prior, we were like, what? How in the world? And we put that up, and I can tell you those posts went viral. They are still being shared hundreds of times every day. We get notified every time someone shares. And that's what, we got calls from so many people that we don't even know, calling from East Point, and, how could they help us, and how could we help them, and can we give them information about this guy? And it's just so many people of all colors, white, black, Latinos, you name it. They've been in contact with us, and they've been in contact with the police and the sheriff's office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. And trust me, they all know about this killer that's allegedly in East Point. So again, to some of our viewers that may be watching from East Point, please be aware, please be vigilant, be cognizant of your surroundings up there in East Point. A leopard doesn't change his spots. He hates women, and just be careful, up there in East Point. Don't know how long he's going to be there, but if you all have any questions that you all would like to ask us, you could put it in the chat, or you could give us a call at 954-480-3209, and we'll put you on the air. But basically, that's it. We gave it our best shot, and I don't think we'll be doing any more updates unless he gets arrested, or, he does something stupid,
And yes, if the victims were white, it would have been handled a lot differently. And that was brought up during the meeting, actually, by the state attorney himself.
Yeah,
he made that very clear.
Very clear.
So, I see the comment about the state attorney's office is helpless, but, the actual state attorney made that comment, and he had some white folks sitting in there too. So
he did.
And he made that comment very clear about if the victims were white, that things would have been handled a lot different. So to me, that was a very powerful statement. He didn't have to make that. He could have tap danced along, but he didn't, So as Daryl said, I don't know too much more we can do. Only thing that people of East Point and Deerfield Beach, because he's going to come back here. He's going to come back here at some point. You best believe that he has this disdain for his ex-wife or wife. I don't know if he's still married, his ex-wife, but he has a very strong disdain for her. So I feel like at some point she better watch herself, because his disdain on the audio for her is very, very high. Yeah. And she's really better watch herself.
Yeah, he implicated her, and we don't have any proof that she, participated, even though he said on the tapes that she did. But again, if she had done something wrong, they would have arrested her, and they never arrested her. So that's how we look at it, But he said in his own words that she set it up and everything. But again, that's being alleged by him, a killer. So you take that for what it's worth. Those are his words. You heard him on the audio, and we don't have any proof that she did anything. And so as far as we're concerned with that, we don't have any comment on that. And,
her life is in danger as well.
She needs to watch her back wherever she's at. We grew up with her also, and we know her and know her family. Some of her family still lives here in Deerfield. So if you see her, just tell her to be careful, because he has a lot of, anger up inside of him, for what happened 30-something years ago. So,
and he's on the interrogation audio bragging. I mean,
you have more audio, right?
Yes, I have more audio. He's on there bragging about he will be back on the streets in 10 to 15 years of less. And he was very right about that. I'm going to play some audio, and I want you to just listen to this. He also implicates some other people that he says he told about when he murdered Cassandra Scott. So this is his words. Everything speaks for itself. So I want everyone to listen to the audio that I'm getting ready to play right now. And this is Gary Troutman in his own words.
Let us know if you can hear the audio as well. If you can hear the audio once it starts playing, just let us know if you can hear it.
So when they say something that
just say yes, we can hear it, or no.
They only heard when the situation that happened. It's still the damn same thing. You talking about physical evidence. You feel it? But it brings me a step closer. Okay. And it gives more credibility to what you're telling me. If I tell you something, it'll be no damn credibility because I'm not going to just find it. Like I told you, my first Friday night after this weekend, I've been remembering. I started coming back in a week. Something was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can hear it. Okay.
This weekend, if you didn't come see me in the way, when I go to court tomorrow, I want excuse me. No, the judge wants to. I've already told excuse me, you need to step over that. Let me this court. Then they're going to do this. Oh, if you say anything, let them go with it, and then I'm going to tell them.
Okay, good. You can hear the audio. Okay.
I know. I don't see the judge. If you reset, you don't say, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm gonna get on your job. Now, you're gonna start sending people out there. Yeah, if they come through the court, I know you because you don't hurt something. Yeah, because they're a possible homicide. Oh man, I know about all this kind of stuff. I'm not, I tell you, I'm not no idiot. Sorry about it. But at least you talk to my brother. I'm gonna call you brother when I get back. I'm gonna tell you when he comes, his coach, like these guys come, they coach you, they pastor come and say, I'm gonna speak with him. He ain't gonna speak with him in detail. I'm gonna get some advice from him. If he says certain things, then we're gonna have a damn talk. But I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna tell you that. He's gonna give you advice. Yeah, he gives you advice. I'm not gonna. This advice that he gives you that to do the right thing, let's say, could mean life in prison for the rest of your life. For you, it ain't gonna be the shit on this fabulous shit. Let me tell you something, man. People. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't see the man got 14 life, 275. I see 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years later, you're gonna be back on the street. I keep telling you, I keep telling you, man. Life sentences? Yeah, get life sentences. See, that's why I say you don't know the system. That's what I'm trying to see. You know about, try to get them convicted. Well, they can, you know how that works. If there's no evidence like that, just your word, they'll make a deal, and you're right. Well, listen, even if it come down to all that kind of damn shit, I say if I ever hit the street again, that's not my job to go out there and hurt people and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a man in society. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not in that shit, man. Look what happened with Cassandra Scott. I don't know why you came forward in the first of all. That's why I told you that's the only person know that was me and Trina. And you don't want to know who knew about it, but she's not gonna say nothing. It's one of my sisters, Marty. I'll tell you what. Listen, the night when that happened, when Terry Session, I called my sister. I told her, listen, I'm gonna go to Terry Session. She trying to tell me. I said, no, I got a reason. You know what I'm saying? I got a reason to do what I do. I need to come off the street for a while. You know what I'm saying? And then he came in the bar and stuff like that. I couldn't pursue it and shit like that. If the detective went where I told, man, like I told you, I got my bases covered. Why would you want to get off the street? Was it just to go get off the street? Now, it's more than that's what I'm trying to say. It's more complicated than that. See, that's why I can never figure out why you guys want to say that. And they were talking about conscious. Come on, man. You think of this, pop up, this, that.
And it's not in your conscience. Believe me, it's not in your conscience.
No,
because all of a sudden you saw God and you.
No, I just didn't think of damn. Never know shit.
So what was the reason?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you that. Trust me, I can't tell you that. But it's one thing for sure. If that girl, listen, sooner or later, how does things play out? Well, I told you I'm gonna be back on the street again regardless. Trust me, man. I know what the hell I'm talking about. It don't matter what they license, everything else. Trust me, I'm gonna come back on the street. I'm not.
Yeah, but you know what? Cassandra Scott is dead. And Angela Savage is dead. What was it? What did they do?
What you mean? What did
these girls do to deserve to die?
What you mean? Listen, I just told you. Okay, I got IQ 143 and I got confidence. Listen to what you're saying. And what you want me to spawn off that? Come on, man. You think not no trick right there. I keep telling you. Don't come in and try to trick me. I'm not trying to listen to what you're saying. I'm not listening to what you're talking about the girls. Come on, I'm listening to what you're saying. You do one of them like that. My best sitting and talking to you, man. I had no business talking to you. I ain't tell you a damn thing that hurt me unless you get a damn lie. I'll show you. Don't never try to cross me that kind of damn shit, man. I don't care about no damn police, dog. I don't go around trying to threaten police. Listen, when I get on shit, all I do is just stay to myself. I work, I go home. That's it. That's all I like to do. I don't get into that kind of stuff.
And I'm not gonna get up on the stand and fabricate stuff.
I'm just saying. That's the way I am.
You're the one who invited me here.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
Me and you.
I'm just telling you this way. And most of the thing you can tell is that I talked about the damn, about my damn wife. If you won't get up there and say that damn thing, that's the only thing you can tell. You feel what I'm saying? That's the only thing you can talk about in general. You know what I'm saying? It's not about these. You talk about the girls and all that kind of stuff. I told you, if I was to tell you about what Katrina done, and if I tell you then they go back and do that, you say, well, it's his word against her word and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, all that. I ain't with all kind of damn shit, man. I'm not with that kind of stuff. You know, if she touched my damn daughter, if something don't happen to that girl, I'm telling you what about that.
What about that time when she reported that sexual battery, Candy?
Who reported a sexual battery?
Candy, that she was going to confirm.
Okay, well, and you could see
very cocky,
just how cocky this guy is, and just how arrogant he is when he was being interrogated by the detectives, and basically telling them how long he's gonna do in prison, and
he was correct.
He
said 15 years, 10 to 15 years. He said he'll be back out on the streets, and he was correct.
Yeah. So again, when you do all you can do to keep people like this locked up where they belong, the system fails you, and so many people has left comments saying the system failed these two young pregnant Black women. And I agree. I mean, the system did fail our sister and Cassandra Scott. I am a firm believer that if these had been two young pregnant white women, that this would never have happened.
He'll be sitting on death row.
He would be on death row. And that's just my own opinion. And it was also the opinion of others, numerous others, Black and white, said the same thing, So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, so many people said, how the, F could you, you murder people like this and dump them side the road and not be held accountable? How could you do it? I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. And I know these detectives, they work hard on the case, and kudos to everybody that put countless of hours into both cases. But somewhere along the line, the ball was dropped. I don't know, somewhere between the detectives and the state attorney's office back then in those days, and somewhere along the line, the ball was dropped, and you have to call a spade a spade. You have to call it what it is. If this had been another race other than black, he would have been executed by now or about to be executed. So anybody want to call in? If you have something to, if you want to, say something, talk, speak up about, him being released, or you want to ask us something, you could put the question in the chat, or you could call the phone line 954-480-3209, and we'll bring you in and we'll put you in. And you don't have to leave your real name if you don't want to. If you want to, you can. Yeah, and it's just, and I know a lot of people are frustrated. And you're right, Elgin, the system has been biased. It has not implemented, it was not implemented for black parole. It hasn't remained biased. It has remained biased and indifferent towards black, Elgin Jones said. But, I agree with you, Elgin. He should have never been able to walk the streets again, Vanessa Anderson Burton said. Yeah, you're right. I mean, again, how?
I mean, he said in the county jail for 8 years, firing attorneys. I mean, he knew that trick. Someone from law enforcement, he was always bragging. He's bragging about his family in law enforcement, and he's bragging about his legal advice he's getting from family members. But he knew the system. He knew how to play the system. He knew exactly what to do and what not to say. And every time he met with the late Detective Frank Ilaraza, all he did was, just keep trying to get him to get Katrina. And that's all he would talk about. Every time they would ask him about my sister Angela Savage, he would deflect. He would just go to talking crazy and just rambling on and on and on, talking about all kind of some of the most psychotic things you ever could imagine. And this guy is he's a real sick, demonic beast. And if anyone out there think that this man can be rehabilitated, you're crazy your damn self.
He can't be rehabilitated. And Lenora, I'm sorry. Good as I know her name. Lenora Moore said, agreed. She said, death row or already dead. Yeah, you're right.
This man been dead for 30 years now. He's just a walking dead soul walking on this earth. He have no remorse for killing my sister or Cassandra. None at all. This is a sick monster, and like I say, the comments, people talking about, well, that was 30 years ago. Well, it wasn't 30 years ago. He was in the courtroom laughing and sending letters to my mom and dad. It wasn't 30 years ago. That was just 7 years ago he was doing that. So this man haven't changed. Yeah. It's just a matter of time. They're going to get him again. He's going to be in East Point. He's going to start dating someone. And I guarantee you the first time she tell him no or whatever, he's going to attack her. He'll be back in jail soon. I have no doubt that he will be.
And again, those to the people up in East Point, you all be careful. We're not going to go on and on, about this. We've done all we could do here on our end, and they looked at it and they couldn't do anything else to help the family, and we thank them. But it is our duty for the rest of our lives to make sure that the public is aware of where he is and how he's moving. If anybody, maybe someone around this country will see this podcast and say, yeah, this is that guy right there. And they'll reach out to us and say, hey, this is where he's living. We want to make him uncomfortable. We don't want anybody to go do anything to him or harm him. If you do, that's totally on you. We're not endorsing that or anything, but just let us know where he's at so we could put it out there and let people know where he's at, that where he's living. And Lenora said, no remorse. He has no remorse. And who is Katrina? Katrina is his ex-wife. And as far as we know, she's still in the area She was, last known to live somewhere in the Fort Lauderdale, Pompano area, Pompano Beach area. So just watch your back. And I don't know what more, we could say or do other than, just to warn everybody that, he's out there, and he was spotted in East Point recently. And don't know if he's still there. He could hop on a plane or a train or a bus or get in a car and drive back down here. So he's always been known to live in Deerfield, Pompano, Fort Lauderdale, Lauderhill. When they arrested him, he was sleeping on a bench, so he was homeless. So Miami, he has family here in South Florida, and just be cognizant of your surroundings when you go places, protect yourselves at all costs. However way you protect yourself. We're not telling you what to do. If you got the fist, you can throw some hands or whatever, baseball, whatever, just protect your family. Is all we're saying. Protect your family at all costs, and don't take your eyes off of him. Don't take your eyes. Watch wherever you go here in South Florida, because you could come back here, East Point, Georgia. Watch your backs up there. Watch your kids. And we hope that this podcast, will help some of our viewers up there in the East Point area. And if you get any intelligence on him, let us know.
Actually, we were told to give out this number here his name is Bill Walker. Bill Walker. He's the chief investigator at the Broward County State Attorney's Office. And his telephone number is 954-831-6579. That number again is 954-831-6573. And he needs any information on Troutman. Anyone from East Point, if anyone from East Point is listening or watch this, anything you have on Gary Troutman, give him a call.
And you see what Elgin said? He said, I called East Point police and they appeared to get upset because of the attention. You know what? My brother called up there.
Yeah.
And you tell him what the lady said.
When I called, the lady, I don't know who she was. I guess she's at the desk, and she was like, this was a quiet little town until this was a quiet little place. Everything was quiet here until you called up here. When you called up here, and you all went on your Facebook page and put this on the internet now. It's like the phone is ringing every minute. Everyone
that's what she get paid for.
She
resign.
Very upset.
Let her resign. Whoever she is at the East Point Police Department, whoever you are, if you said that, if you don't like all the phone calls that you're getting, and you don't like the attention that we're bringing, rightfully so, that's trying to protect people and bring awareness to a killer that's in your town. If you don't like it, then you can always quit, resign. Whoever you are, whoever that made that statement, and Elgin said the same thing. He said, I called East Point police and they appeared to be upset. And we've heard that before.
They were the lady, at least.
We've heard that.
She was very upset about the attention that was brought to the city.
I don't, Elgin, if you have the East Point police number, pin it in the comments. I don't have it here readily available, but he was living in Georgia when he killed our sister. He went there. He moved back to Georgia for about 8 or 9 years. And as far as we know, there are some unsolved murders that's in that area, up in that Georgia, Atlanta suburb. There's some unsolved murders. And I think they need to definitely look at him. If he was in that area at the time, then he should be looked at. And Lenora Moore says, so let them be upset. Some attention is better than no attention. You're right. Let them be upset. Let them be upset. He could move to wherever, whatever city, We're going to call the police department everywhere that we find out that he's living or moving. And that's the way it's going to be. You know, if the employees don't want to answer the phones there, and if they're getting inundated by calls, then look, you can always turn in your letter of resignation. I'm sure you're being paid pretty damn well by the taxpayers up there in East Point, and you shouldn't be complaining. You know, that's your job. To answer the phone, if you're answering the phones up there, that's your job. So I don't think that the taxpayers of East Point would like that, you know, to find out that someone at the police department is saying, you know, this was a quiet town, and you know, when you call there asking about a killer, then they're getting upset. Yeah. You know, they're getting upset for what? And this is just maybe one or two people. This doesn't represent, you know, the whole department. I'm sure there are a lot of good people there, but it's whoever it is up there that's answering the phones up there. And again, if you don't like all the phone calls that you're getting, quit. Okay. But
they quick to say, see something, say something.
See something, say something.
But when you do that, then this is what happens, right?
This is what happens. So
this is the feedback you get from them. And like I say, it was just that one lady that day. And you know, maybe I need to call and complain on her, you know, because she was very very nasty. The tone in her voice was very nasty. Right. It's a lot of people, though, I would like to think that I would like to thank over the years, not think, but thank over the years that contributed in this investigation. Over the years, from the beginning, Detective Andy Giannino, he's still on the force right now.
Stand-up police officer, detective, good guy.
Stayed in touch with us for 30-something years now.
Retired Detective Mike Boley.
Mike Boley out in Colorado.
Retired right now. The late Frank Ilaraza. He passed away, but he put in he was one of the ones that arrested him, and
he was on the shows.
He was on the shows with us too. So may he rest in peace, Detective Ilaraza. He was a good guy. I used to text him to check on him to see how he's doing. So may, you know, my condolences goes out to his family. He was a stand-up police officer. And go ahead with the other names.
Greg Rossman, Brian Kavanaugh, Deborah Zimmett, all formerly of Brian Kavanaugh and Deborah Zimmett, formerly of the state attorney's office. Also like to thank Detective Zach Scott for at least taking another look at this case. I like to thank Harold Pryor. I like to thank all his staff, Paschal Achilles, and I also like to thank Regina Faulkner.
The guy here on your card.
Yeah, it's so many people. The years that have
worked on the case,
been there for my parents, been there for us.
Elgin Jones, don't forget about Elgin Jones. Susanna Bryan from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Thank you, Susanna. Paula Zahn up in New York, who brought us up to New York, and Talos Films.
And we have many film people calling right now. They wanna do more films right now. I'm not ready right now, but
neither am I. It's taking a toll on us, and it's still running on the ID and Discovery Channel.
Just ran the other day. And they run the shows on there all the time. And Elgin Jones was a top-notch reporter here.
Yes, he was, and he still is.
His health crisis hit him.
Right.
But you couldn't ask for a more
dedicated guy. It was personal for him because he knew us. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
So Elgin, thanks, man. He calls all the time, man, and he makes calls, and it's like it was his family member, man. He's
been calling from
he's been
day
calling
one.
every day, and this really pissed Elgin off, and there's so many other people that's here, right, up in the chat room right now. It's been a long emotional roller coaster ride for me and my family, as well as Cassandra Scott's family. It's been an emotional roller coaster ride, and that roller coaster ride has came down and made a stop and let a serial killer off, and apparently he's in East Point. And before we go, we just want to let everybody, thank everybody who supported us over the years, for called and checked on us, and they still do. They text every day, "Are you okay? Do I need to come pick you up, take you out to lunch, man? Yeah, I've been worried about you. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm good. We fighting for our sister.
Right.
We fighting for our sister.
And I feel good. I know I feel good.
You feel good about the work we put in.
That's right. Over the years, and y'all keep the Scott family in prayer. The Allen family, the Scott family. Y'all keep Lorenzo, aka
Bomber Jr.
Y'all keep LaShella. Y'all keep Dee Dee. Y'all keep Sharonda,
Joanne,
and I
Joanne
pray for
Tony.
And Joanne, and I pray for LaShella. She's feeling under the weather. Please keep LaShella in your prayers, y'all. Right. That's our sister here.
That's our sister.
We all from Deerfield here together.
Home team. What exit is? Exit what? 30, 40? Whatever the Deerfield Beach exit is here. I should know it. I'm ashamed I don't even know our exit here. But Deerfield Beach, all our friends in Pompano, everywhere. Thank you all. Man, we really appreciate the love that you've shown us, and tuning in and watching the shows and calling and texting, and this happened back when I was in high school at exit 42. There you go. Thank you, Easy E, Anton, exit 42. Jerome Butler, thank you, exit 42. I'll never forget that, exit 42.
Yes, Jerome Butler, he will kill again.
Shayna, twice. Exit 42. And we're clear. And Mark Bryant Pankey said, yeah, we're close. We're a close-knit community. We are. And everybody here knows each other. And when you kill somebody and a family that's across town, you killed somebody, every family here in Deerfield. You took a piece out of every family here in Deerfield. And these people, they supported us, man. Exit 42. Shout out to Exit 42. All our friends in Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale, all over South Florida, our family up in Georgia, all over Georgia.
Our cousin Baby, see you
our
in
cousin
the room.
Baby, Dolene Sutton. Hey, what's up, cousin? She texts us every single morning at 6 o'clock. Good morning, cuz. I love you. We love you right back, even more. And again, we just want to thank everybody, man. And we don't plan on doing another one of these shows unless something changes. Hopefully he does something stupid.
He will.
And they arrest him and put him back in jail again. Again, man, we just thank you all from the bottom of our hearts, on behalf of my parents, my mom and my dad, and
my whole
brothers,
family,
my sisters out in Texas, Renee and Regina, Stanley, Anthony, Christian. Who else did I forget? Regina. I think I said Regina. So,
yeah.
Thanks to all the Savage family.
I just wish my two brothers were here. Ronnie was able to find out who killed Angela, but I wish Marva Adams Johnson was still here, and Ronald Savage and all my family. I wish my grandparents were still here, my grandfather. I wish all of them were still here to see this day right here, because they waited for this day so long and they passed on. And I just wish they all was here to see this day. Right. But, I'm thankful to God that I'm sitting here right now, because at one point I didn't think I figured this case was going to just go unsolved. And I thank God just for being here today to know who did it. And I can move on with my life now. The hurt and the pain is still there, but I can move on knowing again, regurgitating again, that I know that we fought like hell for my sister, like hell, like hell, like hell. And I know she's looking down in heaven, looking down at us. And I know she's proud of us right now, because that's the type of relationship that we had. Lashella,
hey,
we see
Lashella,
you.
We see you.
I pray you feel better, Lashella.
Yeah,
I'm praying for you.
Yeah. And that's Cassandra Scott's older sister, younger sister, I should say. Lashella Anderson, who's been right there with us over these years. We fought like hell for that Scott family. You know, I know your mom would be proud of us, and your Bummy Senior, the whole Allen family, man. You know, Miss Gladys Color, your grandmother.
Lashella, you want to call in and say something?
Lashella, if you want to call in and say something right quick, you know, call in 954-480-3209. 954-480-3209. If you want to call in right quick, we'll put you on the air.
Yeah, we like to hear from the Scott family.
Yeah, we like to get a comment from the Scott family. I know I tagged your brother in on the post earlier, but I know he probably don't want to. He's out there making that money right down, putting in that overtime out there. So make that money, Bummy. But we got you, man. We represented for you all too. We did everything we could do. We always gonna be exit 42 strong, and we just thank everybody, man. Again, you know, for all of your support over the years, and I don't think it's nothing else we have to say besides give them some nice little vibes on the way out.
Thank everyone
thank everyone
for joining us, for joining the show.
You're welcome, Lachelle. Shell, you're welcome.
And I love everyone out there. Please stay tuned to the Adams Brothers podcast. Please stay tuned
and go over to our YouTube channel while you here. When you log off here, this page here, go over to our YouTube channel. Same thing, Adams Brothers Podcast, and smash that like button. Hit the subscribe to our channel. And hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, you'll get notified every single time we upload a video. Well, at least they're supposed to notify you.
Because there's more good, exciting things going on in Deerfield than Gary Troutman. And we have a lot of new equipment. We have a lot going on here in Deerfield that the people here need to know about, and that's why we're here on this platform.
Shell wants to call in. The number is 954-480-3209. 954-480-3209. We want to bring Cassandra's sister in on get her in here and
hear from her.
And let
her tell us about.
Everybody knows Shell. What's up, Panky? My hometown. Yeah, you're right. Exit 42. 954-480-3209.
954-480-3209. We're waiting on you, Lashella.
We're waiting on you, Shell.
954-480-3209. That's the call-in number.
Thank you, Panky, man, bro. We love you back, man. I know you over there on the west coast of Florida, man, but you still exit 42 strong, bro. Thanks for everybody for reminding me what exit I'm from, because I actually have forgot. And I feel bad, man, that
and I always see that
I'm home team strong, but yeah, I always see it and I know it, but I just couldn't think about it, think of it at the time. Exit 42.
Yeah.
I ought to get some t-shirts with exit 42 on there. Deerfield Beach. Still waiting on Shell Anderson to call in. 954-480-3209. I believe this is her calling in right now. What happened? She hung up.
Call back again, Shell. We want to hear from you. We want to get your thoughts on this case. I know me and you talked earlier today. Call in, Shell, 954-480-3209. That's the call-in number.
She just called in and it must have hung up. Oh, here it is.
That's
right here. It keep hanging up. Shayna, you right. Gotcha for the t-shirts. Oh yeah, that's right. Shayna, we're gonna have her on the podcast next Wednesday. She's gonna be
Try again, Shella.
Try again, Shell. It keeps hanging up for some reason. Give access. Allow. Try it again, Shell. We're gonna have Shayna Johnson on our show next Wednesday at I believe 5 p.m. and she's gonna be talking about her not-for-profit organization. I believe WBroward.org, and she's gonna be telling you a lot of stuff about things that they could do to help the community, and we have her scheduled for next week. So we're gonna have Shayna Johnson on, and she also makes t-shirts. So if you guys need t-shirts for any occasion, hit Shayna Johnson up. She's also on Facebook, and you could reach out to her, and she does excellent work, and she's very fast and thorough. And I bought some shirts from her myself, and she does good quality work, and those aren't cheap t-shirts either.
And anyone across this county that has been a victim, that has a story of murder in their family, we like to get you on the podcast. We like to get you on live. We want to hear your story. Whoever, all across Broward County, we would like to hear the stories of unsolved murders here across Broward County, across Palm Beach County, across Miami-Dade County. We want to hear those things. Okay, we're getting ready to be joined by LaShella Anderson.
Hey, Shell. I'm trying to get you in on here. I'm trying to I wonder why I can't hear you on the roadcaster here. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you now. Can you hear us good, LaShella?
Hi.
How you doing?
I can hear a little bit. Okay.
Can you hear us now?
How you guys are doing?
Yes, we've been doing good. Talk to us, LaShella, and tell us about your thoughts about your sister, Cassandra Scott. Tell us, tell the audience out there, LaShella, what type of person Cassandra was and what was taken away from your family and the hurt and pain. Tell us and talk to us.
Oh my God. Okay. My phone is kind of jittery, so I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Or not.
We can hear you.
Okay. Cassandra was older than me. We slept in the same bed together. She was.
Sound like your phone went out again.
She was 17 at the time, and I was 14. You couldn't hear me?
Yeah, it would sound like it was going in and out. I don't know. You might have to go near a door.
Let me see if you need to take this phone. Hold on, let me see. Take it outside. You can hear, you guys can hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, she's a couple of years older than me.
You go ahead. For some reason, I can't hear him. But you go ahead.
The person of Cassandra, my mom always said that she knew that my sister didn't die of a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
She knew that my sister didn't die of a seizure. She always felt like someone had not killed my sister. But the Deerfield Beach Police Department, they never put interest or time, or they didn't, I don't know what it was about that case with Cassandra and you guys' sisters. Like when you guys got involved and started, you know, your mom and dad started going up there protesting and, you know, trying to get information on your sister's situation in her case. They did a little bit more than what they did for my sister when if it was someone else, and you guys know what I'm talking about.
Right, exactly. I know what you're talking about.
You know, I think they would have handled the situation a little bit different. How would you say somebody had a seizure when they got DNA under their nails?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't contact my family. They didn't contact any of us. How we found out, when we did find out, the man was almost out of prison. We didn't know anything about. I'm sorry, y'all. My breath is really short, so you have to excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
We found out about the situation as far as him being responsible for my sister's death. He was almost out of prison. No one contacted us. No one told us anything about him killing her. We found out everything after he had done got tried and convicted. And I still feel like that wasn't long enough. 10 years for taking someone's life. This girl was 17 years old. She was a child under him. And whoever else had anything to do with it. She was way younger than them. They had no business doing the things that they did to my sister nor you guys' sister. And I don't care who get mad. They don't have to like me because I'm not going to heaven or hell because how nobody feels about me.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so the system really failed us, our families.
Yes.
Really failed because he shouldn't have no kind of peace right now in his life. None. He shouldn't be rewarded for it or anything because that was wrong. And you can't fix that no kind of way. He touched so many lives by doing what he did to our families. But see, people ain't gonna understand it. Oh, that was so many years ago. Oh. But still, we still deal with it.
That's right.
We still deal with it. Families still deal with it. Yeah, y'all done moved on, but we can't move on.
That's right. And that's what
we
people
can't,
don't
especially
understand.
when we see a person like that. Yeah, especially when we see a person like that out free and can do whatever he want to do to someone else's family.
That's right. And that's when they'll understand. They'll understand when they lose someone, Shell, they will understand. And it's a shame people have to find out the hard way in order to understand. And I remember even back then, I don't remember seeing anything in the newspaper, in the news, or anything about Cassandra's when they called him. I don't remember anything. I just remember someone came up to me one day and told me, and that was how I found out. And I'm heavily into it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Tell us anything, and that's sad. That's sad. That shows you right there where the justice system is. Because if it I'm sorry for saying it, but if it was a white person or however, whatever y'all want to call them, but if it was somebody of different, race, I don't think it would have been handled like that.
No.
Because I see people going to jail for years and years and years and years, never get a chance to see the time of day. This man literally is out and he's healthy. Y'all can scream he got cancer. Now, that cancer ain't doing nothing for him. He looked pretty healthy to me on that mug shot.
Yes, he do. Yes, he do. And
so that means he's able-bodied to do it again.
Right.
You killed my sister because you wanted to see how it feels to kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's what you're
a mob.
That's
hit.
what your.
You know, he was fantasizing about being a mob hit. He was fantasizing, and
you're a mob hit.
And this is the thing I don't understand, Shell. When Cassandra was killed on February 4th, and then my sister 6 weeks later, why in the hell they couldn't put that together and see something was wrong?
Put two together. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Well, they didn't.
You can put two together.
It was you can.
Hello.
Okay, I couldn't hear. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shell.
No, she can hear you. Go on and talk.
The man got away with.
They didn't put it together because they were focused on her at the time. They were focused on her boyfriend, Dwayne. That's why.
They were focused on that one man. That man ain't had nothing to do with it.
Whatever. They always look at the boyfriend, right, or the husband or the wife. They're the number one suspect. So he wasn't on their radar.
Nope.
But instead of them advancing out towards, if they had DNA, they got the DNA. Period. Point blank.
Mm-hmm.
You guys didn't even try to match my sister DNA that she had under her nails and the DNA that your sister had. Y'all didn't even try. If me as a police officer, as a detective, common sense would have told me right here in Deerfield, let me run these two together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not no rocket scientist, but I think I would have did that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so
just to see if it's the same. There's so many things you can't look back at, but they didn't care because it was two black women. It was two black young ladies. They didn't care about that then. They did not care. Everybody trying to sweep it under the rug. We ain't gonna sweep this under the rug. Let's talk. Right. Let's talk about this.
Right.
Cause y'all happy and go having y'all life. I wish I could have had my sister in my life. Exactly. I'm quite sure you guys want to use y'all sisters.
Right.
You know. Yeah. Nobody didn't want to bury their child or their sisters or kin folks behind stuff that didn't even have to happen.
Yeah.
And now he outliving his life. That's what I'm upset about.
Exactly. He watched his kids grow up pretty much like my sister, you know.
From the letters.
That's right. Yeah. Her kids never got a chance to watch her grow up. You know, they had to grow up without a mom, missing Mother's Days. And you know, that's what I try to tell people. And they just, you know, when I saw the stupid comments, they were writing on there, you know, I'm like, you know, I just didn't think some people can be this insensitive. The comments that I saw talking about that was 30 years ago. He could be gonna change. Man, you don't kill two black pregnant women and think that person is gonna change. I mean, really?
30 years ago, yeah. I don't care if it was 100 years ago, it happened. Just like how y'all bring up the slavery, just like how you bring up how they enslaved us and did this and that. That's how people feel about their family members. Right. The same exact way, and the things that we went through back in those days when we slaved and built stuff and found stuff and made stuff and it got taken from us. That's the exact same way.
That's right.
So can't no one tell you how to feel.
That's right.
I can remember my sister just as clear as day. Just as clear as day, I can remember my sister. Stop.
And I can remember her out with that left hand. I remember that left hand.
I can remember y'all sister. I remember Ann.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good to grow up with y'all. It was a pleasure to grow up with y'all, yes, with your sisters, with Joanne.
It's a pleasure to grow up with you guys too.
Yep.
Yeah. I appreciate it. People think you want to lag along, you want to continue to bring this up, but it's important because he do not deserve a life out here.
Right.
He deserves to be caged in like an animal he is.
That's right. That's right. And it's like no one, you think that I like to continue to keep having to relive this and go through this. I would have liked to just put a period on that back in 2015 when they sentenced him. I at least thought we were at least told he would be in there at least 20-something years, at least. At least if I would have saw him another 10 years from now, I would have probably felt maybe a little bit different and felt like, I still would have been hurt, but I would have still felt like, hey, well, he's been in there a long time and, but he would be older and not being able to kill someone else. Cancer doesn't stop. If that's what he have, cancer or stroke or whatever, will not stop anyone from going out, putting their hands around someone else's throat, choking them again. He's still capable of doing that.
He's capable.
Yes.
It's an embarrassment to be. Look at me. Look at us. We got two brothers. That's Troutman. You know how embarrassing that is?
Mm-hmm.
It's some good people in the Trout. I know a lot of good Troutmans. That's right. Good people. But my brother is your nephew. My brother and my brother's father and him are brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's my mama's son. And my mama's daughter, your uncle killed. My brother's uncle killed her. So that's just how close he is in my family. But I don't want to call him anything close to me. But that is my brother, David Troutman and Lucius Troutman. Those are my mom's first two kids.
Right. I remember both of them. I remember Lucius and I remember David. I haven't saw David, but I know Lucius is dead, right?
So ain't no way I could just say, okay, forget about it. I ain't gonna think about it no more. Every time I see him, I say something to him about it.
Right.
My man, them people ain't no kin to me. They from Canada.
Yeah.
And all of them isn't like that, but it is what it is. So,
right.
Well, I really appreciate you guys for always including me and my family into you guys' podcast, into you guys' everything, because you did send Paula Lezane them over to my house, and I got to meet a lot of different people through you guys, and I really appreciate that, me and my family.
That's right, and we love you. You know how we feel about
absolutely.
Your
family. Absolutely love you guys.
You family.
That's right. And
we love you guys too, and we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. And you take care of yourself, Shell. You know what we talked about earlier. And we're right here. Anytime you need anything, we right here.
Yeah, you have our number. Just give us a call.
I will. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on too.
Okay, and you have a blessed evening, LaShella.
All right, Shell. Love you.
Love you.
Good night.
Good night.
So that was LaShella Anderson. I didn't chime in because for some reason I couldn't hear her through my headset. I didn't hear anything she said. I don't know what's going on with my headset here. I would have got in on the dialogue as well, but I couldn't hear what she was saying. So I let Wayne basically just talk to her. I couldn't hear anything. So, but again, guys, this is it. We've done all we could do. And let's read a few of these comments here before we end this live. I see Dion Benefield is in here. Shell. She's authorized. I see you fellas. Hey Dion, what's up? Vanessa said, I was just thinking that would be great for you guys, for the families that are seeking justice for the loved ones. Jerome Butler said, when are you going to do this? I lost my grandson, Elvin Holmes Jr. My daughter probably would like to talk about it. Hey, Jerome, listen, man, if you want to come on or your daughter wants to come on and talk about the loss of your loved one, we'll give you a platform, man. If we could help you solve a murder or whatever, get you some closure for your family, man, reach out to us, man, inbox us your number and we'll set something up, man, and we'll get you or your daughter on here. because we're all for, we want justice, man, for everybody here.
That's right. We'd love to have you on
Exit 42
to talk about that. I remember your grandson. I remember him with my nephews. I remember him.
Right. So we're going to wrap it up and give him some J-Rock on the way out the door. We want to thank everybody, man, for participating and calling in and just being there for the family over the years. And I tell you, it's been an emotional roller coaster ride for a while, and hopefully this is over with right now. And we want to thank everybody, man, just everybody for your support over the years. I don't know what's going on with the sound in my ear. Turn it all the way up, because I can't hear it. I heard it earlier, but for some reason, the sound in my headset from the audio is gone right now. We want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your evening to. Can you guys hear the music? Let's put it in the chat. Yes, I know if you can hear the music right quick. I was going to be able to hear some nice vibes going on before we end the live stream video. Can you guys hear the chat? Hear the audio that's playing? Yes. Okay. Everybody's saying yes. Okay. I don't know what's going on with my headset, y'all, but thank you. Thank
everyone
thank you all for your love and support. Thank you for tuning in.
Join us in the future here. We got plenty of people coming up. We talk to everyone. Athletes, stars. We got a lot of people coming up here on the Adams Brothers podcast. We're going to have them live on Facebook. Absolutely. We're going to have State Attorney Harold Pryor. We're working on a whole lot of famous people that have agreed in principle to come on.
Right.
So stay tuned.
So once again, thank you all so very much for tuning in, and we want to thank you all and appreciate you tuning in here, and have a good evening, everybody. We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Adams Brothers Podcast, Exit 42 strong.
Hit our Cash App.
We out.
Hit our Cash App too.
$ Adams Brothers Podcast. Exit 42 strong. We out.